All right, so I'm going to go over a couple problems. First thing I want to go over is number 2 here. So we're told that Juan sells cars at Carla's Used Cars, and recently he recovered a job from Otto's Used Cars. In this problem, we're going to decide whether Juan should work for Carla's or Otto. So in part A, it says at Carla's Used Cars, Juan earns a commission that is 25% of the markup on the car. Okay, so it's 25% of the markup on the car. Juan recently sold the cars below. So if we look at the cars below, we see that we had a 2009 sedan that had a markup of $300. We had a 2005 convertible that had a markup of $950, and we had a 2010 SUV that had a markup of $500. Now, you should be able to figure out what the commission is if it's 25% of the markup. It gives you the markup, and you should be able to figure out what 25% of each of these 3 markups is. Now, in terms of number 2, which is what we're going to focus on, it says at Carla's, the markup on a car is 10%. Okay? That means that each of these markups right here, this $300, this $950, and this $500, these all represent 10% of the buying price. So what does that mean? That means that 10% of whatever the buying price was is equal to the markup. Now I can either use this to solve it in terms of my formula, or I can make a proportion. Now since we're dealing with ratios and proportions, why don't we just do that? So if I have, let's see, 300, 950, and 500. So I have 300, 950, and 500, right? These are how much the markups are. So if I'm dealing with this, I can do a percent proportion. Remember, we have a percent, every percent is out of 100. And in this case, that's going to be equal to, well, the markup is a percentage of, the markup is a percentage of the buying price. Okay, I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to write it down this time. The markup is 10% of the buying price. So again, this is like what we had before, where we had our percentage out of 100 is equal to is over of. But in this case, I'm going to replace is with the markup, and I'm going to replace of with the buying price. So if I do this first one with 300, I'm going to do, let's use blue, 10% out of 100, because remember the markup is 10% of the buying price, is equal to, well, this is my first markup, so 300 over whatever the buying price is. And I can cross multiply, I can do whatever way that I know how to solve this. In this case, I know that, let's use orange. I know that to go from 10 to 300, I multiply by 30, and to go from 10 to B, I also multiply by 30. And 100 times 30 equals 3,000. This is how much the buying price was. That gave me a markup of $300. Now you should be able to do this with the other 2 given this information, so try these out. And if you still have questions, let me know.